And my God put into mine heart to gather together the nobles and the rulers and the people, that they might be reckoned by genealogy. And I found a register of the genealogy of them which came up at the first, and found written therein, These are the children of the province that went up out of the captivity of those that had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon had carried away, and came again to Jerusalem and to Judah, every one unto his city.
Israelites and Gentiles, now that you know you can't transfer your bloodline to a hybrid, nor are you making another man when you procreate with the other species of mankind. The time have come for you to know how a bloodline is established. Last week you learned the place of birth have zero effect on a person's bloodline. A person's place of birth has nothing to do with their DNA and genetics. I know the other kind of a man utilize place of birth as well as environmental upbringing to determine a person's race and culture. When it comes to bloodline, the place of birth doesn't determine a person's bloodline. Whiteness used place of birth to attach themselves to the ancient people. Place of birth is the only way whiteness could attach themselves to the ancient people that once dwelled in the land they claim to be theirs today. If whiteness rely on DNA to connect them to the ancient civilizations and people that lived all over the world, DNA will reveal the truth. Their DNA will reveal that they have no connection with the ancient people. Every landmass on this earth was occupied by multiple bloodlines over the years. Despite the Most High dividing the earth into three parts for the three foundational bloodlines to men, which are Japhetic, Hamites, and Shemites, the sons of Noah are the progenitors of the three major bloodlines to men in this world today.
And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread.
As you heard in the scriptures, the sons of Noah are the progenitors to all the families of men alive on this earth today. It's very important that you understand they are the progenitors to the families that come from the creation of men. Men and mankind are two different species of people. The scriptures are only talking about the families that comes from the man creation. The scriptures is not talking about multiple species of men. The only mention of the other species of mankind is when the Most High command his people to destroy them. It's very important for the seed of man to know the scriptures is only talking about the man's creation. Always keep in mind there's two species of man walking the earth today. Only one species are the creation of the Most High. Their DNA will link them to the progenitors of the seed of man, Adam and Eve. The other species of mankind's DNA will link them to the fallen watchers.
There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
The truth about the origin to the other species of mankind is often overlooked in the beast system. Many people don't want to acknowledge the truth about the origin to the other species of mankind in the scriptures. The workers of iniquity want to make it appear as if we are all the same as well as our origin, despite the scriptures revealing otherwise. The Most High scattered man all over the earth on multiple occasions. The first scattering took place during the time of Babel.
So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
The scriptures let us know the Most High scattered the seed of man all over the earth. The scattering that took place during the time of Babel let us know that the first inhabitants that dwell in specific parts of this world are not living in their original place of birth. The Most High scattered the generation alive during the time of Babel all over this world. The Israelite bloodline was scattered on multiple occasions in many generations. The final scattering of the Israelites happened when the transatlantic slave trade took place.
And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land, and went up to Samaria, and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria, and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in Habor, by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes.
As you can see, the Most High scattered the people on multiple occasions all over the world. The people are not living in their place of birth. The Israelite nation is a very good example of a family that is not living in the land they inherited. The Israelites live all over the world today. Colonization also displaced many people. When you think about how a bloodline is established, place of birth is not a determining factor. Never use a person's place of birth as the primary source to validate their bloodline. Many Israelites in the awakening utilize place of birth to assign bloodlines. I believe because the origin to whiteness is not taught in the beast culture, some Israelites look for ways to include whiteness since they have no knowledge of the origin to whiteness. Place of birth is simply what it is, a place you was born in. Place of birth doesn't change your DNA. Remember, the life to all flesh is in the blood. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Your DNA was determined when you was conceived in the womb. Your DNA would travel with you everywhere you go. No one could alter your DNA unless you go to a corrupt DNA company that lied to you about your results. Your DNA comes from both parents, mother and father. Israelites and Gentiles, this is why a bloodline is a family clan. Everyone from the family clan will share the same DNA. Your place of birth doesn't alter your DNA. As an Israelite, if my place of birth is the land of Seir, being born in the land of Seir doesn't make me an Edomite. The reason I won't be an Edomite, my DNA doesn't descend from Esau or any of his descendants. Your DNA is coming from your parents, not the place you was born in. Israelites in the awakening, it's very important that you understand this. When you comprehend that place of birth doesn't determine your bloodline, you will begin to see whiteness for what it is, as well as understand how a bloodline is established. Your DNA is within you, just like the kingdom of the Most High is within.
Neither shall they say, Lo here, or Lo there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
Too many Israelites are relying on place of birth to determine a bloodline. This is why you have to look within, just as the Messiah told us the kingdom is within. Every bloodline has a beginning. The person whom the bloodline began with is the progenitor. The creation of man started with Adam and Eve, making them the progenitors to the creation of men.
This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created.
Adam and Eve bloodline is the seed of man. Israelites and Gentiles, this is why it's important for you to understand bloodline. The Most High made a promise to Adam to save him and his seed. The very covenant the Most High made with Adam is the same covenant that have been transferring from generation to generation. This is how the Gentiles, meaning the nations, are able to receive salvation because they are of the seed of Adam. The bloodline of Adam is the seed of men. But Satan, the hater of all good, thought within himself, whereas God has promised salvation to Adam by covenant, and that he would deliver him out of all the hardship that have befallen him, but has not promised me by covenant, and will not deliver me out of my hardship. Nay, since he has promised him that he should make him and his seed dwell in the kingdom in which I once was, I will kill Adam. But I cannot alter the covenant that has gone out of my mouth, else would I have brought thee back into the garden. Then the merciful God, good and lover of men, looked upon Adam and Eve, and upon their blood, which they had held up as an offering unto him, without an order from him for so doing, but he wondered at them and accepted their offerings. And God sent from his presence a bright fire that consumed their offering. He smelt the sweet savor of their offering and showed them mercy. Then will I in mercy save thy soul and the soul of the righteous, to give them rest in my garden, and that shall be when the end of the world is come. The way the Most High chose to save the seed of man was by sending the Word of God to become flesh, to shed his blood so that the righteous of Adam's seed could find forgiveness of sins. Then came the word of God to Adam, and said unto him, O Adam, as thou hast shed thy blood, so will I shed my own blood when I become flesh of thy seed. And as thou didst die, O Adam, so also will I die. And as thou didst build an altar, so also will I make for thee an altar on the earth. And as thou didst offer thy blood upon it, so also will I offer my blood upon an altar on the earth. And as thou didst sue for forgiveness through thy blood, so also will I make my blood forgiveness of sins, and blot out transgressions in it. When you know the truth, do you see how the scriptures found in the Bible come alive? Do you see how the truth exposes the doctrines ingrained in the minds of people in religion and in the awakening? This is why we must let the truth do the work. The truth will correct history. The truth will bring restoration to the seed of men. The truth will fill in the blanks to where the scriptures in the Bible was either removed or altered. The Most High promised to save Adam and his seed. This covenant is valid until this day. That is why it's important for the seed of man to know, just because you don't descend from the Israelite bloodline, it doesn't mean there's no hope for you. Everyone have the opportunity to receive forgiveness of sins if they are righteous from the seed of Adam. Israelites and Gentiles, it's very important that you understand the word progenitor. A bloodline cannot be established without a progenitor. The progenitor is the person whom the bloodline starts with. Think of the progenitor as the parent. The progenitor to the Shemite bloodline is Shem, the son of Noah. The progenitor to the Hamite bloodline is Ham, the son of Noah. The progenitor to the Japhetic bloodline is Japheth, the son of Noah. I didn't mention their wives because their wives descend from the same family as Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Then Noah took the 3 daughters of Eliakim, son of Methuselah, for wives for his sons, as the Lord had commanded Noah. Noah's sons and their wives are of the seed of Adam. They descend from the same family, making the foundational bloodlines to the seed of man after the flood pure. When it comes to the structure of the household to the seed of man, the Most High made the male from the seed of man the head of his household. Because the males from the seed of man is the head of his household, the bloodline is called after him. The spiritual wickedness in high places imitate this in patriarchy in the beast culture. When a woman is married, she takes her husband's name, and their children takes their father's last name. Every bloodline from the seed of man is named after the father of the bloodline. That is why we see only the males are mentioned in the scriptures when it comes to genealogy. The female role in the creation of a bloodline is important. However, because of how the Most High chose to structure the household, with the males being the head of their household, only the males are mentioned in the genealogy. This is not taking anything away from the women. This is how a nation that is properly structured with leadership in place is governed. Because we live in the land of our captivity among the heathens, most of us come from broken homes where leadership is non-existent. If our nation wasn't divided, as well as not living in the land of our captivity, our households would be structured in that manner.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
A bloodline is established with the progenitor. Every bloodline have one progenitor. Everyone who descends from the bloodline can trace their lineage back to the progenitor of the bloodline. Because we're dealing with two species of man on the earth, each species do things differently. When it comes to the seed of man, the male from the man creation is the progenitor of the bloodline. This is consistent with the male being the head of his household. Remember, a bloodline is a family clan, not a race. Everyone in the bloodline can trace their lineage to the progenitor. When it comes to how a bloodline is established, Israelites and Gentiles, it's very important that you know the difference between the progenitor and his descendants. Many people in the awakening confuse the role of the progenitor and the descendants. Because many Israelites don't know the difference between the progenitor and his descendants. This is why the doctrine of you are what your father is exists and increasing the sins of Israel. Israelites, it's very important that you know the difference between the progenitor and his descendants to keep you from spoiling your seed. The progenitor of a bloodline, the male, can create his bloodline with one or multiple women within the man creation. Jacob, our father, and the progenitor to the Israelite bloodline, established the Israelite bloodline with 4 women: Leah, Rachel, Bilhah, and Zilpah.
And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And she said, Behold my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah her handmaid to wife, and Jacob went in unto her. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife.
All of us who are from the Israelite bloodline can trace our lineage back to Jacob. We all can't trace our lineage back to Leah, Rachel, Zilpah, and Bilhah. Although Jacob and the mothers of his children are related from the same family, for the sake of this message, I won't go too deep into that aspect. Keep in mind that there can be multiple bloodlines within a bloodline. All Israelites can trace their lineage to Jacob, the progenitor to the Israelite bloodline. When it comes to the matriarchs, because multiple women was used to establish the Israelite bloodline, you could only descend from one of the matriarchs, not all 4. The scriptures in the Bible don't disclose the family of Bilhah and Zilpah, the handmaids. To show you how pure the Israelite bloodline is, the scriptures let us know Leah and Rachel are sisters. Bilhah and Zilpah are also sisters. And he was taken captive and was bought by Laban, and he gave him Una his handmaid to wife. And she bore a daughter and called her name Zilpah, after the name of the village in which he had been taken captive. And next she bore Bilhah, saying, My daughter, hasten after what is new, for immediately that she was born, she seized the breast and has hastened to suck it. Rachel and Leah are sisters. Bilhah and Zilpah are sisters, as you just heard. Bilhah and Zilpah's father is Rothias. He was Abraham's brother. Jacob and the matriarchs to the Israelite bloodline are related. In today's language, they would be cousins. Now my mother was Bilhah, daughter of Rothias, the brother of Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, who was born on one and the self-same day with Rachel. And Rothias was of the family of Abraham, a Chaldean, God-fearing, free-born, and noble. No heathen was involved in establishing the Israelite bloodline. No outside admixture from the other kind of a man was used to create the Israelite bloodline. Abraham was Jacob's grandfather. To Rachel, Leah, Zilpah, and Bilhah, Abraham was their uncle. With the scriptures in the Bible failing to mention the lineage to Bilhah and Zilpah, it opened the doors to people speculating about their bloodline. This also gave birth to many false doctrines. The Most High didn't intend to create the Israelite bloodline with multiple women. That is why Rachel was barren for a long time. However, man's wickedness prevailed. That is why 4 women was used to establish the Israelite bloodline. If Leah didn't make a covenant with Rachel, Leah would have given birth to 8 sons and her daughter Dinah. Leah would have been the only woman used to establish the Israelite bloodline. And had not Leah, my mother, paid the 2 apples for the sake of his company, she would have borne 8 sons. For this reason she bare 6, and Rachel bare the 2. For on account of the mandrakes, the Lord visited her. The Israelite bloodline is a pure bloodline created within the Hebrew bloodline. The Most High commanded the Israelites to remain pure before him and not to mingle their seed. When a bloodline is being created, the progenitor can produce his children with the woman of his choice. Keep in mind, these women are of the man creation. Jacob had children with 4 different women. As the progenitor of a bloodline, he can do this. The way a progenitor creates his bloodline is by having children. Esau is the progenitor to the Edomite bloodline. Esau had multiple wives. The scriptures acknowledge 3 wives.
Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth.
The way a bloodline is established is by having children. Your descendants will keep the bloodline going. Many Israelites in the awakening are confusing progenitor with descendants. Many sons of Israel today believe they are the progenitor to the Israelite bloodline. This is why many of them have the mentality of nation building. The Israelite bloodline is an established bloodline many generations ago. The Most High started to build the nation of Israel when he sent Jacob and his family into the land of Mizraim to dwell in Goshen. From there, the Israelites multiplied and became a great nation.
Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. But Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them.
As you can see, the Most High built and established the Israelite nation a long time ago. Jacob is the progenitor of the Israelite bloodline. That is why the bloodline is called after him. What many Israelites of today need to know and understand is that the Israelite bloodline is not in a building stage. We've passed that stage of building a nation multiple years ago. The Israelite nation multiplied exceedingly in the land of Mizraim, as you heard in the scriptures. The scriptures in the book of Hosea inform us that the Israelites are as numerous as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass, that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God.
We don't need a building mentality in the nation of Israel. The Israelite bloodline is in a preserving stage. The only people that can preserve the Israelite bloodline or any bloodline are the descendants. It's the role of the descendants to preserve the bloodline. The descendants must gatekeep their bloodline to preserve and maintain the bloodline. Many sons of Israel today mistake their role as descendants with progenitor. You're not the progenitor of the Israelite bloodline. If you were, the bloodline would be called after you. The Israelite bloodline started with Jacob, therefore, the bloodline is called after Jacob. The Israelite bloodline and the many other bloodlines spoken of in the scriptures are established. the descendants of these bloodlines need to preserve their bloodline. The way a bloodline is preserved is when the males and female within the bloodline procreate together. Within every bloodline are male and his females. The same goes for the animals, plants, and everything the Most High created. There is a male and his female. The Most High preserved the male and his female in each creation to repopulate the earth after the flood.
And the Lord said unto Noah, Come down, all thy house, into the ark. For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female.
Within every bloodlines are male and female descendants to preserve the bloodline. There are male Israelites and female Israelites. There are male Edomites and female Edomites. There are male Ishmaelites and female Ishmaelites. It's up to the descendants to preserve and keep their bloodline going in every generation. In order to do this, you have to marry within your bloodline to preserve it. That's the only way a bloodline can continue. If the descendants don't preserve their bloodline will end. To the Israelites in the awakening believing that you're preserving your bloodline by marrying multiple women from various bloodlines because your child will be Israelite regardless of their mother, you're very wrong. If your partner descends from the other kind of a man, you cut off your bloodline. If your partner is of the seed of man, but from a different bloodline, you just created your very own bloodline. In order to transfer your father's bloodline to your children, you have to marry a female from your father's bloodline. The moment you marry a female outside of your bloodline, you created your own bloodline. We will dive deep into bloodlines within a bloodline later. The concept of marrying within to preserve your bloodline is the same as making another man. A male and his female from the man creation have to procreate to make another man.
And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord.
There is nothing new under the sun. If you follow the Most High, you will see the consistency from the very beginning until now. The reason there's so much confusion about bloodlines, the kingdom of darkness have infiltrated the seed of men. The workers of iniquity is trying to pass off the tares as a part of the man creation. The Most High said he won't uproot the tares until the harvest. If he uproot the tares now, too many wheats will be uprooted with the tares. When the end comes, that is when the Father will uproot the tares.
He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn.
The scriptures let us know the tares are the children of the wicked one. Their father is Satan that planted these tares while men slept.
He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels.
When you allow the scriptures to speak with the guidance of the Holy Spirit, the truth will set you free. Your mind will no longer be held captive by false doctrines. It doesn't take millions of people to establish a bloodline. A bloodline starts whenever the descendants of a particular bloodline decide to procreate with a person who is not of their bloodline. Today, many people are creating their own bloodline. Satan deceived many people into believing they're transferring their father's bloodline to their children, and they're not. The other nations from the seed of man are not guilty of doing anything wrong if they procreate outside of their bloodline. As for the Israelite bloodline, the chosen people, the Most High command his people to remain pure and not to mingle their seed. The Most High command his people to be holy, for he is holy. The Father, on multiple occasions in the scriptures, command his people not to take the strange women and men for husbands and wives. The Most High command the Israelites not to marry the Gentiles. And do thou, Moses, command the children of Israel, and exhort them not to give their daughters to the Gentiles, and not to take for their sons any of the daughters of the Gentiles, for this is abominable before the Lord. For this reason I have written for thee in the words of the law all the deeds of the Shechemites, which they wrought against Dinah, and how the sons of Jacob spake, saying, we shall not give our daughters to a man who is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. And it is a reproach to Israel, to those who give and to those who take the daughters of the Gentiles, for this is unclean and abominable to Israel. The Israelite nation is a peculiar people set apart to do the will of the Most High on the earth. The Most High gave strict commandments concerning the Israelite bloodline. In order for the Israelite bloodline to remain pure, the sons of Israel and the daughters of Zion have to procreate within. Don't let the lust of the flesh overrule the laws of the Most High. Today, we have so-called awakened Israelites teaching you can marry whomever you want and your child would be whatever your father is. We have to wake up as a people and fear the Most High. The time have come for us to stop rebelling against the Most High. We have to allow the truth to set us free, as well as deliver us from doctrines of devils.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
I have said to you on multiple occasions, a bloodline is pure and sacred. A bloodline is a family clan. Your DNA, if remain pure, will reveal the journey of your ancestors. Your DNA would trace you back to the very first man, Adam and Eve. The moment you start to devalue your seed by mingling your seed with everything, you corrupt your DNA. It's extremely important for you to not be careless with your seed. As descendants to the ancient bloodlines, whether it be the Israelites, the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, the Cushites, and the countless other bloodlines, as the descendants, you're responsible to preserve your bloodline. Don't contaminate your bloodline by not valuing yourself and your family. Don't let Satan deceive you with the outward beauty standards. Value yourself and preserve your seed. When you preserve your seed, you preserve your bloodline. Israelites and Gentiles, don't let your bloodline end with you. Gatekeep your bloodline.
I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears.